What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the results of the last Olympia qualifier of 2024, which just went down last night, the Europa Pro. So the fans are kinda divided over this call made by the judges, as Bruno Santos beats Presti to win his first ever pro show, and also qualifies for his first ever Miss Olympia. So two Brazilians will be sharing the Olympia stage this year, Rafael Brandão and Bruno Santos. So proud moment for them as a nation. So Bruno is that same guy who got beat by Presti just this past weekend, where he placed third behind Lbre and Presti in Italy. But he got a lot harder, a lot tighter and a lot drier in just a week's time. And he was so much more impressive here. And I have got to say I think the legs, they became the deciding factor. Because Bruno overall had bigger legs than Presti. So I'm not gonna lie, I had Presti winning this show after the prejudging. And I'm sure many of you guys can relate to that. But the thing is, when the shows are this close, it can go either way. And as I mentioned after the prejudging, that this was a very close show. And I must say, everyone in that top 5, they were in an unbelievable condition. They all brought their A game. And it seemed like everyone absolutely nailed it. And I'm sure we are gonna see some of these guys at the Legion Sports in 2 weeks' time. So great sportsmanship shown by Presti here, applauding Bruno Santos when the decision was given. He took it like a champ, and it can be so difficult at times, especially when you are second place for 2 weeks in a row. So this is the first time since 2021 when Presti wasn't able to qualify for the Olympia. But the good news is that he has confirmed on his IG story just a few hours ago that he's gonna be going for France Pro and hoping to get his Olympia qualification for 2025 there. Now I have to say I really do not understand the timing of these upcoming shows, the Legion Sports and France Pro. Why they are scheduled to be on the same weekend? That doesn't make any sense. So all these topless finishers from Europa Pro, they will have to pick either Legion Sports or France Pro. So Lbre came in third here at Europa Pro, his best placing so far in an IFBB Pro show. So the man keeps on improving, and he is being rewarded by the judges. But for him to win a pro show, I have to say he needs these bigger and aesthetic guys to come in off, to miss their mark. Because the thing is, he is very hard, very grainy. He was in a top-notch conditioning. But the thing is, he doesn't have any aesthetics whatsoever. So some of these other guys need to come in off in order for Lbre to win a pro show. So Mohamed Nassour came in fourth. Now, I think he could have placed higher than that. I'm sure some of you guys have no idea that this guy is a medical doctor by the day, and he is a former Olympian as well. So he is being coached by Presti, and he brought him in the best possible shape. So this right here goes to show us that the talent in the men's open bodybuilding is improving at such a fast pace that 3 of the former Olympians, they were able to win this show and get their Olympia qualification. And Mohamed Nassour is one of those guys. So Lorenzo placed 5th. So this guy is having such a great rookie year. He placed 4th in Italy just this past weekend, top 5 here in UK, and he can take this feedback into the next season and come back better than ever. I mean, this is just the start of his pro career, and he is already so damn massive. So Lorenzo talked about how he feels getting 5th place in Europa Pro, and he was extremely satisfied with the look that he brought to the stage last night.
So I'm happy with my 5th place.
So William Martins was another guy who also did not get the placings that he was expecting. So he was being coached by Francisco Aspin. And William Martins, I have to say, looked pretty damn good, especially in terms of conditioning. But the thing is, when the judges have all these tall and aesthetic and pretty looking physiques, like Presti, and a guy like Bruno Santos, who was just as big as William Martins, and he was in an equally good condition. And when these guys are just as peeled as everyone else, a guy like William Martins, he will definitely suffer. And the reason, of course, is his wide waistline. He doesn't have a great shape. He doesn't have a very good flow, especially from the front. Now let's talk about Patrick Moore. Not even in the top 5, after taking a full year off to get bigger to grow. That is really brutal. So what does this tell us? That judges are so clear over the fact that Patrick still isn't big enough for the men's open bodybuilding. Because I thought he was in a phenomenal condition, and I'm sure all of you guys will agree with that. He was easily one of the most aesthetic guy in the lineup. But the thing is, aesthetics, they are just one criteria, especially for the men's open bodybuilding. Now, even after the prejudging, most of us were expecting that Patrick will be at least in the top 5. And even though that wasn't what he was looking for, I mean he was aiming for the win here. And obviously he came to earn his Olympia spot for this year. And the expectations were pretty high, since he finally took 1 year off. And even when the judges made the call out for the confirmation round from 4th to 8th place, Patrick was moved in the middle, right next to Muhammad Nassour. Although he started on the side, but he was moved in at one point. Now this is a guy who has been a top 10 Olympian in the past, and that too at his Olympia debut back in 2019. And he's struggling to make even that top 5 in an Olympia qualifier. Just think about that for a second. Either the 2019 Miss Olympia that had a very weak lineup, or the new talent is just improving at such a fast pace, and they're just taking over. So Patrick will be massively disappointed, and he has to make one dramatic transformation in just 2 weeks' time if he decides to go for that Legion Sports. Now let's talk about some physique updates. So first of all, we have the 2019 Mr. Olympia champion, Brandon Curry. So this video is about 2 weeks old, and Brandon's size in the upper body, that looks really impressive. So his upper body is gonna come back faster than what most people think, because the thing is his system is used to this kind of training, where Brandon will start prepping for the Olympia at anywhere between 14th to 16 weeks out mark, and his body just always bounces back. And we should expect nothing less this time as well, although his legs are a concern here. Now not a single complete physique update has been posted by Brandon throughout this year. So there was that one time where he posted a video of him training his quads, and that's pretty much it. Now I really wish that Brandon could bring back this size that we saw from him back in 2022, but just a little bit more tighter, a little bit more condition. That was the biggest version of Brandon throughout his professional career. He just wasn't dry enough and conditioned enough at that show, but still he was able to place top 4. Now I do have a feeling here that the closer we get to this year's Miss Olympia, more people are gonna change their predictions and put Brandon back in that top 6, because right now no one is even talking about him. The shape of Brandon, that has carried him very far, and that shape once again, that is gonna be here in 4 weeks' time. So if Brandon places top 6, it will be a big blow to his reputation, because this will be the first time since 2018 where Brandon will be outside of the top 5. Next up is the update of Italy Pro champion, Lbre. So this video recorded at 30 days out of this year's Miss Olympia. And although Hunter was unslept for this one due to traveling, but he is right there to make some very necessary adjustments they are needed for the big show up ahead. So glad to see him training his abs first thing in the morning before going into that bag workout. Because ever since he won his Olympia qualification this past weekend, that has been the major topic of discussion every time Lbre is mentioned. So now that we have seen the videos and the pictures, other than the ones released on the show day, which made almost everyone, especially Hunter, look all washed out and soft on the stage, one can confidently say this, that Hunter was in a good condition. So another 4 weeks, that is plenty of time to polish that look for Hunter and go for his 5th ever Miss Olympia. So he got this opportunity to train with Jim Mannion, and he also got a feedback on his posing and presentation. And with little tweaks, he can really improve that overall flow of his entire physique. For instance, he can hit that abs and thigh shot in a different way at the Olympia that might compromise his width, but he will be able to show deep separated abs. So I'm gonna say this again, do not count out Hunter. The goal remains the same, top 5 at this year's Miss Olympia.
All in all, I'm ready to run through a brick wall for the next 30 days, and that's what it's going to take to make the improvements that I need to do what I want to do.
So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.